Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh, Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice, you are my battle. I call you Rapha, hey, you are my healer. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. I call you Jireh, Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice, you are my battle. I call you Rapha, you are my healer. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. Voy a mi gran copia. 1, 2, 3. I can breathe without you, say. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move without you. Hey, who am I without you? Who am I without you? Say, I can live without you, yeah. I can live without you. I can breathe without you, Lord. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, yeah. I can move without you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Hey, who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? So who yeah? Who am I thinking now? Who yeah? Who am I thinking now? So who yeah? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? My thinking now, me oh. So who am I thinking now?
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us, speak to us, Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Official poll. Question number 1. Law firm Bay and the one Anna House on top of the Seven Sisters Tube Station, exit number 2. No. BWF Solicitors. Correct. It is that time of the year again. BWF Solicitors, our trusted community law firm at the Christmas quiz competition. No. Ababiomo. We have gone through 2022 together. We have celebrated 30 years of our senior partners on broking service to the community. And through so, someone so will be winning the prizes from the annual quiz competition. No, listen, every 1st December, Ecosi 23rd December 2022, following on all our social media platforms, on BW Radio, BW TV, any Rainbow Radio. So answer very simple and interesting questions, and you will stand a chance of winning a massive prize. First prize, 2 weeks stay in Ghana, flight and accommodation covered. Second prize, £500 cash. Third prize, £200 cash, plus many other consolation prizes. Chapeau. BWF Solicitors. For our legal matters, but you may handle no pepe at the amount. You 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, Nosso, London N15 4NP, 4th floor of the Anna House. Freying was 0208 493 7340 or emergency number 077 127 61884. With over 30 years of service to the community, we are your trusted community lawyers. Yamo Official Poe. Merry Christmas.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws.
Fema yewo London. Yajia basobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mransemu. Eye legal services. BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na yebo nso nyaden kra. Yen partner penin pa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron, 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wo ho. Inti se ba ne busuansem bi te se child care, eya abofra hwemu, awaregya ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a, ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Ye child care, any family team no nimnia wo famu ewe ne ya wo bremu. Enu nti ne yeto ye mbo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner Ayobia Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu no sanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni how kra wope advice ewo immigration sensem ho wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration work permit student visa ho totoye any entry clearance visas, family visas, ni appeals. Yen senior partner a member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wonni how kra. Ye bie an office free dwada ekosi fiada anopa non krompe mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm. And na memene danso appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Yewo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya Gina Tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo e court cases ya efa Ghana law. We advising local authorities, official solicitors office, ni solicitors bebree efa Ghanaian law hu yi. Na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so for Ghanaian law.
Appl. Question number 1. Law firm Bay and the one on a house on top of the Seven Sisters tube station, exit number 2. No. BWF Solicitors. Correct. It is that time of the year again. BWF Solicitors, our trusted community law firm at the Christmas quiz competition. No. Ababiomo. We have gone through 2022 together. We have celebrated 30 years of our senior partners on broking service to the community. And do so, someone so will be winning the prizes from the annual quiz competition. No, listen, every 1st December, Ecosi 23rd December 2022, following on all our social media platforms, on BW Radio, BWTV, any rainbow radio show, and some very simple and interesting questions. And you will stand a chance of winning a massive prize. First prize, 2 weeks stay in Ghana, flight and accommodation covered. Second prize, £500 cash. Third prize, £200 cash, plus many other consolation prizes. BWF Solicitors. For legal matters, Nina, Bedani, You be handle no pepe and the amount. You 214 to 218. Tottenham High Road, no so. London N15 4NP, 4th floor of the Anna House. Freying, it was 0208 493 7340 or emergency number 077 127 61884. With over 30 years of service to the community, we are your trusted community lawyers. Yamo official Poe. Merry Christmas.
Jesus, you're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, you've Father, you done for me? Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. I call What you say?
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Yeye fema yewo London. Yaji abasobodie bebree. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Eye legal services, bi te se family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na yebo nso nyeden kra. Yen partner penin pa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron, 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eye abofrahwe mu, awarja ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a yemma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwumanso. Yen child care any family team no nimni a wo famu eweni ya wo bremu. Enu ntini yetu yembo asima wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner eyobia Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni how kra. Wo pe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Yen senior partner eye member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wunni haw kra. Yebie an office free dwada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pay mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene dan so appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Yewo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nswa eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernard Owusu san ye barrister ya Gina Tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advising local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebree efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Hello, a lovely afternoon on a Saturday. Wet, icy, cold, and lovely here in the UK. The second, in fact, today is the 17th of December 2022. Welcome to another edition of the Community and the Law. My name is Oreku Frimpon, and I'm glad to be your host for the day. I want to say thank you to Professor Ade, my producer, and of course the technical team for helping us. We're doing this courtesy BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors are the proud community partner when it comes to the law. They are 214-218 on the High Road, Tottenham, Seven Sisters. Call them and discuss all your legal matters with them, especially when it comes to immigration and nationality matters. BWF Solicitors 0208-493-7340. We have heard and seen and of course interacted with them a lot this afternoon. And we're also saying that we ended the year on a high because BWF Solicitors is giving us the opportunity to win wonderful prizes. Now, we are conducting our annual quiz, and that gives you the opportunity to win a return trip to Ghana, 2 weeks stay, flight and accommodation catered for. Then the second prize is £500 cash, and the third prize is £200 cash. Follow us on our social media platforms. You would have had a chance to contribute and even participate in that in the past 2 weeks. Today, I'm going to be that quiz master that is very lenient. I'm going to give away wonderful selections here for you to be a part of the draw. Now, whoever answers the highest number of questions today will be put in the hat, and next week, we will be having the draw, and we'll eventually know who is going to win the first prize of the trip to Ghana, the £500 cash, the £200 cash, and other consolation prizes. Now, we're live on BWTV, we're live on BW Radio, we're live on BWF Solicitors, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Once again, my name is also Frimpon, and today, going straight into activity, I am going to bring you the bit of information that BWF provides as every Monday. In fact, if you watch out, Monday latest by 12 noon, the bit will be out, and definitely we will be giving you some bits of information when it comes to the law. Now, today I'm going to look at what we gave you on Monday, and let's look at it this way. Now, it says, and we have it there, it says false representation. When we talk about false representation, what are we talking about? Now, this piece says, and it's quoted from the law books, AA Nigeria versus SSHD in 2010. False representation is making statements or claims either in written or spoken form to the Home Office which is untrue or false. The consequence of making a false representation may usually lead to refusal of the application and a mandatory ban from coming to the United Kingdom. Where the Home Office wants to refuse an application on grounds that false representations have been made, they must indicate clearly to the applicant that they have suspicions, give opportunity for a response, and factor the response into their final decision. So false representation, does it in the ordinary man's term mean that you have lied or not? Whatever it is, I will be going to my resource person and who I'll be introducing very soon. Now, I have already introduced that we're having our quiz competition, and that will be at the tail end of this program. So just keep your fingers crossed. I will be coming with the questions. But let me get this out of the way and wish one wonderful person a super happy birthday. Now, BWF Solicitors gives opportunity to young and upcoming Ghanaians, other African nationals, and everybody to train as a lawyer. And one wonderful lady, Deborah Adu, is a trainee solicitor at BWF Solicitors, and this week Debbie celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday to you on behalf of everybody of BWF Solicitors. Debbie, God bless your new age, God bless you, and you know what? You're going to be a very wonderful solicitor. So wish you all the very best. Debbie, happy birthday. I throw you salute. Thank you very much. Now, with this, I will want to introduce my resource person, my brother, my friend, and my teacher, I should say. When he comes on, he does his way as a teacher of the law, a teacher of the updates, a teacher of all the things that the Home Office or the legal community would want to bring up. Lawyer Charles Asma is a solicitor at BWF Solicitors. Well, in our ordinary language, we would say he's a lawyer. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for coming. Merry Christmas in advance. I see that you...
Yes, the feeling is in the air.
You have started earlier than myself.
Yeah,
Well, how's everybody in the office and how's it going?
God's grace, we're all keeping well. We're still meeting the needs and expectations of the community. Mm-hmm. And once again, we bring to the community what is best, and that is...
Well, one of the needs of the community, as you rightly mentioned, is a question that we have on our minds, and you threw that in. I mean, BWF Solicitors, you threw that in at the beginning of the week, that we're talking false representations, and we have that up here and says that when somebody makes a false representation, it can lead to a refusal of the application and the rest of it. Now, I wanted to look at it from this point. If we say false representation, does it necessarily mean that you have lied?
Right. So we will say, we offer our greetings after nugget, so we'll go straight to the nugget. And false representation is false representation. Anything false is fake. Mm-hmm. So we simply say that false representation means you have used fake information. Okay. And if it is not genuine information, then you've lied.
Okay.
So you have misrepresented the information that you put before the caseworker, based on which they made a decision to either grant you. And if it's a case that they made a decision to grant you, then depending on how it played out, you have misled them to thinking that what you said is right. Mm-hmm. So false representation, I agree with you that it's lying to the Home Office. Mm-hmm. Based on the information you put on your application form or the supporting documents you add to the application.
Obviously, anybody that is hit with this allegation to say that you have misrepresented the facts or even lied in the ordinary person's term would put up a defense and say, well, that's information I have, I didn't lie. How do I defend myself in a situation like that?
Right, thank you very much. So viewers and listeners, we are today looking at the nugget which homes in on false representation that we make to the Secretary of State through the caseworkers at either the overseas ports or in the home country. Now, when you make application to the Home Office, they ask you questions and they expect you to provide answers. Whatever answer you provide are the representations you are making. If those representations turn out to be false, then we say you have made false representation. However, we have to draw a distinction between how it played out and how it was made. So we're looking at representation that is made honestly or innocently. And representations that are made dishonestly or deceptively. So if you make those representations honestly or innocently, then we assume that you made them without knowing that they were not true. We can simply say, then it's a mistake. So that's a mistaken representation.
Innocently, yes. But then the person is not in front of the caseworker. How do you prove that, or how do you even convince a caseworker that I give you document X, and to me, without intents and purposes, it's genuine? I didn't intend to lie about it because that's all I have. How do I prove that?
Right, thank you very much. So, as I said, we have two forms of refusal. So the Secretary of State, through the caseworker, can make a decision to refuse the application based on discretion. And that is, so we have paragraph 9 to the immigration rules that will look at how the Secretary of State power or the caseworker's power to refuse plays out. Now, under paragraph 9, 7.7.1, so there are two parts. The 971 is a discretionary power to refuse. And that is usually the case that the person or the caseworker will make a decision to refuse based on what they think that the application ought to be refused. And there is one which is mandatory refusal, power to mandatorily refuse. And that falls under paragraph 9.7.2. And that is where false representation is found, or there's a finding of false representation. And therefore, the caseworker will conclude that the person dishonestly represented those information with the view to deceive to be granted that leave or visa. Now, oftentimes, the Secretary of State or the caseworker will do the investigation or will carry out certain investigation and may find something. They also have a duty to inform you that we have found XYZ, which in our view suggests that you have falsely represented the information to us, be it the information on the application form or the supporting documents. It's always the case that they will put you on the spot on the supporting documents. Now, they will issue you a note called minded to refuse. So once the minded to refuse note comes to you, you have to respond to the allegation put to you. So they may make an allegation that the birth certificate is not genuine, or marriage certificate is not genuine, or bank statement is not genuine, or any other supporting document in their view is not genuine. Then you have the opportunity to clear that bit for them so that it comes, more or less, you have to explain yourself. That is that bit.
Lawyer, who bears the burden of proof in this situation? Your guidelines say that I should provide X, Y, Z. I have provided them to support my application, and you are doubting it. Why do I have to prove?
Well, usually they would have carried out investigation, and they will tell you that we have done investigation and found out that X, Y, Z are not true. Explain. Then you have the opportunity to explain. At that point, you don't have to ignore. And that is where you can rely on 971, discretionary power to refuse, and say that, yes, you have the discretionary power to refuse based on the fact that representations might have been made innocently and honestly. The fact that you have made misrepresentations means that the application can be refused. But once you are given opportunity to explain, you have a chance to say that it's a mistake. We all make mistakes. It might have been the case that was done by an agent or somebody else.
How do I exercise that chance to prove?
When you are given when you are given opportunity to explain once you receive the minded to refuse note or notice from them, you have a chance to explain, supporting what it is, that it is not what they think, but whatever it is innocently made. For example, it might be the case that you have been asked on the application form, let's say, do you have a previous name? Have you ever changed your name? And you said no. Then you send a supporting document suggesting that you have 2 names. Then that contradicts what is there.
What is that? Okay.
That means either the document or the information on the form is not true. So there is false representation. But it might have been done innocently or honestly, because it wasn't you who made the application. So then the person who made the application might have mistakenly put
those 2 names there.
Exactly.
So at a point where the notice is giving you that they have in mind to refuse you, does it mean that your application is refused at that point? Or it's put on hold for you to explain so the caseworker will make a final decision?
So where you will receive a minded to refuse letter or notice, it's a very good chance for you to clear the air and rebut the presumption that they can refuse you because of what they have seen.
Right.
So you explain yourself, relying on the relevant provisions of the law. The case of A Nigeria 2010 is a good case because it says that if representations are made innocently or mistakenly, then the person should not be punished with the thinking that they deceived. So you have to explain yourself and cite certain things. For example, if a birth certificate is issued by a Ghanaian authority or a particular country's authority that deals with the issuance of such document, would that be your fault? No. So you have to explain to them. So once you explain to them, they will consider the representations that you have made in response to the minded to refuse letter, then they will grant. Or when they go ahead, you still have opportunity to go to admin review. Now, the next one is where they did not give you that opportunity to clear the air before the decision is made. And they made a decision citing false representation. Remember, the Secretary of State had discretionary power and mandatory power.
Okay.
So they may exercise the discretion without coming to you to clear the air. So when they exercise the discretion to refuse, based on what they have picked up, they will give you opportunity to
go for
admin review or, depending on the circumstance, appeal as well, whichever option you take, but usually admin review. Now, admin review, as we have said, is usually relevant to non-visit visa applications.
Okay.
So if it's a visit visa, more often than not, you may not even have the opportunity to clear yourself.
So in that situation, you may have to reapply.
In that situation, you have to. In that situation, they will say, do an admin review or do an appeal. In that situation, if they point it out that they have been refused because of X, Y, Z, then you can write a letter to them, even though the law doesn't make specific provision. Of course, you also have to clear yourself, so that because it will affect you. Remember, in the nugget, we are told that this can affect future applications.
Okay.
So more often than not, under paragraph 9.8, 9.7 is the power to refuse. 9.8 can also look at power to refuse and be prevented from entering the UK in the future. So there are instances where you'll be refused mandatorily and you'll be prevented from entering the future for at least 10 years. And that is very, very harsh.
Pretty
So
harsh.
depending on how it is phrased, you have to clear yourself. But the conclusion from here is that when we are making applications, we have to be very careful. And we have to be clear that the information we are offering are indeed what ought to be. If we are given opportunity to clarify certain things, we have to be able to clarify them. That is where sometimes it is not, people will say, well, I know, I've been listening to you guys, I know all the things, I can do it myself. And when they hit the brick wall, they come back. It might have been late by then. So it's always advisable that, especially when things are unclear, speak to a person who understands, speak to a lawyer, let them help you to support you through. So that, but unless you are very sure, then of course we say that make sure that things are done properly. However, when it gets to that point, you can challenge the Secretary of State that the representation was not made deceptively, and therefore the refusal with consequence is harsh. So there are instances where they will reissue the refusal and remove any any ban that might have been added. So that is the advice we'll offer, and this is a case law perspective.
Well, a case law perspective, as lawyer Charles Asma has said, Balajigari versus the Home Office 2019 is a case that has been stated here, and also AA Nigeria versus SSHD 2010. False representation is making statements or claims either in written or spoken form to the Home Office, which is untrue or false. Where the Home Office wants to refuse an application on the grounds that false representations have been made, they must indicate clearly to the applicant that they have suspicions. They need to give you an opportunity for a response and factor the response into their final decision.
So the summary of this is that even if they don't put you on notice to explain yourself, they can still refuse you. So don't say that, why did you not tell me when you suspected? Why didn't you tell me to explain myself? And you went ahead to refuse. Remember, we said they have discretionary power.
And they're mandatory.
So the moment they think that there is false representation, they can refuse.
Well, you're live with us on BWTV, live with us on BW Radio, live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and of course all the social media platforms. Remember, this program is rebroadcast every Sunday evening between 7 and 9 p.m. here in the UK on BW Radio. Question. Listen, I will be testing your knowledge on the information and the little education that lawyer Charles Asma is giving us. So watch out. Today I have one very beautiful t-shirt of BWF Solicitors to give away for that question. Apart from the quiz, when you participate in the quiz, I'll be putting your name in the hat for the draw. But there is a very interesting question I'll be asking about the nugget. So keep your fingers crossed and stay with me until the end. I have a t-shirt to give away. Now, let me acknowledge Cecilia Bewe, you are with us. Thank you very much. David Osafu Mensa, you're watching. Thank you. Lily Soa, Lyrical Black, Tricia Leo Dobio, Kevin Asamoah, you say, good afternoon, my brother, lawyer Sir Charles Asma and Doreku. Thank you very much, Kevin. Good afternoon. Rebecca Amwako is around. Rebecca, good evening, Brakiku, a lawyer. Good evening, Becky. Kevin Asamoah, yes, I've mentioned you. Cadet Fieron, evening, my people. Hey, my person, how are you? Eben Kwame, Anu, please, you qualify for auto citizen, like, well, I think you're talking about something else. Eben Kwame, you giving me a wave. I wave you back. Thank you. I see you there. Sandra Fraser, you are doing that wonderful job you do every day. Sandra Fraser is the front desk manager of BWF Solicitors. Sandy, thank you very much. Ejiwa Nanajimain, good evening to everyone. Anita Ajapoma Japan. Covenant Grace and all the other people that are watching with us. Thank you very much. God bless you. And keep sharing so that people will benefit from the information we are churning out here on BWTV and also live on BW Radio. I have a question, lawyer. Very interesting one. I have a child. Does my child qualify automatically for British citizenship if the child was born abroad? And how do I make an application for such a child? Now, I'm asking because there are many who have their statuses as British citizens, but They have children born up outside of the UK who are not living in here. And the idea is to unite the family. The idea is to get the community going and growing as dynamic as we want to be. But unfortunately, we have some of our children outside of the borders, in Ghana, elsewhere, outside of the UK. These children, what are their fate? And that's the question I would want us to use as our discussion today. A child born abroad to a British national, does the child automatically become a British national?
Thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. I'm sure it will be helpful to many viewers and listeners. So viewers and listeners, once again, a very good afternoon to you all for joining us on this program this wonderful Saturday. Today's topic, as you've already heard, looks at citizenship of a child based on a parent who, at the time of the child's birth, was a British citizen.
Yeah.
And this child was born abroad. So within the law, British Nationality Act 1981, there are people who are born in the UK. And therefore, we say that if you are born in the UK, and at the time of birth, one of your parents is a British citizen or settled person, then you become automatically, you take your citizenship from there, and therefore you can be registered. Okay. You can just go ahead for your passport.
Okay.
You don't even need to go through registration.
Right.
What if you are not born in the UK?
In the UK. Yeah.
Can you just also go for your passport?
That's what the problem is here.
Exactly. So today's conversation looks at what if I'm not born in the UK, but at the time of my birth, my mother or my father or both of them, at least one of them.
One of the parents should have been settled.
Was a British
citizen. Okay.
So here we are looking at Section 2 of the law.
Now, let me get the clarification here. The parent should be a British national. What if the parent was settled at the time the child was born?
The law only looks to British citizenship of the parent.
Okay.
So Section 2 of the British Nationality Act 1981 looks at a very good word, and the word is descent. Mm-hmm. So here we are looking at children who can acquire citizenship of their parents by way of descent. So the question is, what is descent? Here we're looking at acquiring citizenship of a parent at the time of your birth.
Okay.
At the time of your birth.
So acquiring the citizenship of a parent, it could either be the mum or the dad. Could it be a guardian?
Well, the law looks at the parent, biological parent.
Okay.
So biological parent at the time of birth, if you are born abroad. So if you are born abroad, then we are looking at Section 2 of the law, acquiring citizenship by descent. Mm-hmm. Now, the automatic citizenship, as we said, are two for children. Those born in the UK, those born outside the UK. So those born outside the UK, we are relying on Section 2 of the law.
Okay.
And we have understood that by descent, we are looking at getting your citizenship based on the citizenship of your mother or your father at the time you were born, and you were born abroad.
Okay.
So we are looking at 3 tests here. Mm-hmm. Test number 1, you are born abroad and you are a child. Who is a child? You are under 18 years old.
Well, I was going to ask that, obviously.
You are under 18 years old at the time of seeking to become a British citizen.
Okay.
So you are a child, you are born abroad. That means if you are not born abroad, you cannot rely on this provision.
Okay.
You have to use another provision.
Okay.
So you are born abroad. And at the time you were born, your mother or your father was a British citizen. And your mother or your father's citizenship was not acquired by descent themselves. So you are getting your citizenship from your mother or your father by descent. You are born abroad, but you want to say that when I was born, my mother was a British or my father was a British, so I was a British. Mm-hmm. And therefore, I am a British.
Okay.
Now, so more or less inheritance.
So if me, I inherited my British citizenship from my parents,
By descent.
By
Let's say,
descent.
yes, you got it by descent.
and I have a child born outside at the time that I had my citizenship by descent, does my child qualify to be automatically recognized as a British citizen?
So let's say, as you mentioned, let's assume that you are a British citizen. And we know that you acquired your citizenship based on Section 2, which is by descent. Now you have a child born abroad.
Yeah.
And the child, of course, with your consent, is seeking to become a citizen through you. The question is that the child must be a child, yes. The child must have been born abroad. The child's father or mother is a citizen, which is yourself, so yes. And that child's mother or father, who is a citizen, British citizen, should not have acquired his or her citizenship by descent, by the same way that you, the son or child, is seeking to become.
So it means that me, as I said, having acquired my British citizenship by descent, I can pass it on to my
More or
child.
less, you can't have multiple inheritance. That is a simple way I will put it. Because the law says that.
Law, it doesn't feel and look fair.
So the law says otherwise acquired. So the person became, so the mother or father is a British citizen otherwise than by descent.
Okay.
That means you should have been a citizen either by registration or by naturalization. But if you got it through descent, more or less you got it through that inheritance mode, then you cannot pass it on.
Pass it on. Does it?
Then what happens is that when your child comes to the UK, you make application to register the child under different provisions.
Okay. So in that situation, it is not dire, but
It is
you would
not
have to
dire.
go through another route or use a different provision,
A different
rather
provision.
than having that
So this-
automatically conferred on you.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
So if you are going to be automatically conferred, then you have to make sure that you don't have double layer.
Okay,
Because yours was one layer through your father or parent descent.
that's right.
Then your child is getting another layer from you.
Yeah.
More or less, the child is getting from their grandmother or father that you took from. If you look at the source.
The source. Yeah. Right.
So the root of citizenship, we can even trace it. And that's why the law looks at descent that it has to be one layer. Otherwise, then it will be easier, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be easy because
pass.
that has had it. Mom has had it. Why not me? But glad to hear and to know that you can use another provision
Yeah, the other
to
provisions.
become a British citizen rather than having it automatically outside of the UK. Now let's look at when we have gone through the criteria, the young person qualifies. What happens outside of the UK? Can an application for that citizenship be made to confer that on him or her outside of the UK, or the child has to come into the UK for that confer?
So we have understood that having been born abroad to a parent who of a British national, you are a British citizen by descent under Section 2.
Yeah.
Now, on paper or legally, you are a citizen of Britain. What you need is passport.
Yeah.
So the question, how do I get passport if I'm not in the UK? If you're not in the UK, you cannot make passport application the same way as you would have if you were to be in the UK. Because if you were to be in the UK, the application would have been online.
Okay.
Simple.
Right.
But because you are outside the UK, the application is not being made in the UK. You are making the application from abroad. We call it overseas passport application.
Okay.
And with that, you fill a form. So it's manual, not online. So you get a form from online, print, complete it by hand, then you add the necessary documents and send it to the passport office, the overseas passport office.
Okay.
Once they receive it with whatever document you've added, of course, you have to prove that you are getting, your father or your mother that you are relying on got their citizenship by either registration or naturalization. So you have to show it. If they got it through descent, then it wouldn't be a citizenship certificate. They only have passport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you can, that's why they will need evidence of the father's citizenship and how they got it and when they got it. They will compare that to when you were born to see whether at the time of your birth they were citizens and how they got it in the first place.
Okay.
You add the necessary document, send it to them, and they ought to be original documents. It's a very long process because once you send that first batch, they will review and come back for more evidence.
Okay.
And that is when the test starts. One, you have to prove that indeed you were born to this person, be it father or mother. When you were born, this person was your father. So you have to prove it. The father will have to prove that, okay, what shows that when the child was conceived, you were there? How do you prove that the mother actually conceived the child? So antenatal records, postnatal records, and even evidence of pregnancy, if there are pictures, then evidence that you are in the life of the child progressively. So baby was born, you were in, so pictures to show that progressive movement within the life of that child. So if the child is, let's say, 17 years now, and you are doing this application for the child, you can see that we're looking at that, and then the conclusion will be that what shows that indeed this is your child. So you need your you need a birth certificate. If you feel that a birth certificate will be questioned, you can even go further to show DNA, because DNA is never questioned because it's automatic.
Is the DNA mandatory?
It's not.
Okay.
What I'm saying that if you think that you can even go the extra mile, you can add something to make them happier, but it is not mandatory. So, and as and when they need something, they will come back. It can take a long time. And once the conclusion, once they've concluded that it is the case, they will invite the parent who is making the application for the child to attend interview.
So if you are in the UK, for instance, you have to travel down for an interview, or it could be made
it's online.
Online.
The interview
okay.
is arranged online. So you join, and the interview can be for the mother or the father. Usually, it can be both, but they choose who to interview.
Okay.
Of course, they cannot interview the child, so they will interview the parent who is making the application for the child in Ghana or abroad, so to speak.
Okay.
Now, does it mean that the application should be physically made abroad? You can make the application from here through your lawyers, but the application is overseas application. So you have to use the right form and send to the right department and add the right documents to that.
Okay. Well, lawyer, there's a question here. I would want to take the person's name out of it. That's why I'm trying to paraphrase it. Now, this person was settled in the UK at the time that the child was born. The person has gone on to naturalize to become a British citizen. The child that was born outside of the UK at the time that he was settled, what is the status of the child? Does the child have the right under this provision?
So you can see that, one, the child was born abroad. Two, the child is born to a British citizen. At that time, okay, let's go down. Let's do the checklist. Because it's mathematical, isn't it?
Yeah.
One, child is a child. Two, child born abroad. Three, parent through whom the child wants to derive the citizenship. At the time of the child's birth, what was the nationality of that parent? That's the test here.
Okay.
And you've told me that at the time of the child's birth,
The
this
parent
person
was
only
only
settled,
settled,
not
yes.
a
Not as a
citizen.
British
So the
citizen.
person was a citizen elsewhere. So that bit of the test is not met.
In that case, can the child use a different concession? A different
So the parent
provision?
will bring the child to the UK. And once they are in the UK, they
Then
make
they make an
application
Okay.
under the various options.
So then I would want to put it clearly, as lawyer has said, that if the child can have automatically British citizenship conferred on him or her, one, a child, two, born abroad, three, one of the parents should have been a British citizen at the time of the birth of the child. Am I correct?
Yes, you are right. And that such citizenship of the parent should
not
not have been derived by descent.
By descent. So if you had your citizenship from dad or mom, you can't confer it to your child. In that situation, you would have to use a different provision to register that young person to become a British citizen. I think it's clear. And anybody that has any confusion, yes, the lines are active. 073 sorry, 07, can you put the number on the screen for me? Thank you very much. 07 0208-123-1016. It comes to the same number. Or you can send a text to 079-50-422-780, 073-99-208-468. Yeah, that's the number I was looking for. Sorry, I got a little distracted here and there. Anyway, so you can call in, you can text in. Lawyer's here. He has the ability to answer all your questions for you. 073-99-208-468, 073-99-208-468, or 0208-123-1016. Text 079-50-422-780. Or you can go to the Facebook page or to the YouTube platform and put your comment there. So if there's any question, we can pick up that for you. Lawyer, before we go on, would there be any reason, apart from not satisfying these 4 conditions that you gave us, that the Home Office or the caseworker would say that I am going to refuse it based on the information I have in front of me?
The point to be put across is that once the person is deemed to be automatically British citizen,
Yeah.
they don't need to become British citizen anymore. They only need evidence of citizenship in terms of travel, that's the passport.
Okay.
So if they only want passport to seal their citizenship, so to speak, then they don't have to go to the Home Office, because Home Office only deals with nationality applications and leave and so on and so forth. The HM Passport Office deals with passport for British citizens. So the application will go to the Passport Office, not the Home Office.
Okay.
Even if you made an application to the Home Office, and the Home Office, by checking, realizes that the person was automatically British, either under Section 1 or Section 2, they won't issue you anything. They will tell you that you're already British, so just go get your passport.
Okay.
Yeah, they will point it out to you that this is wrong.
And the overseas passport, you can't do it online. You have to physically fill out papers.
It's a manual process. Okay. So you download the form, get your pen, print, fill it out, and add to your documents, post it.
Okay. There's somebody tried to call, your line has gone off, but there's a question from our text line. It says, my question is, my stepson came to join us in the UK less than 6 months ago. However, we just discovered that he has a daughter back home without our knowledge. I am an EU citizen. Could we bring the child in as our granddaughter?
Right, so the presumption is that this stepson entered the UK through the stepmother or the stepfather, whoever is the EU person. Now, this stepson has a daughter, has a child. And by extension, that is a step-grandson, isn't it? Or
the step-grandson, yeah.
So it's still stepchild, it's still a grandchild.
Okay.
Because if we're able to allow the person, the stepson into the UK with the understanding that he is a child of this EU person, then we can say that this EU person's grandchild is the child of this person. And therefore, grandchild, yes.
So, this is under EU. Can we have a situation like that under British nationality law?
Well, remember, British nationality law does not confer free movement to family members easily as it is under EU provisions.
Yeah.
And immigration rules, if you want to bring your child, you have to make application to bring the child, and you have to prove and meet the test. So responsibility, serious and compelling family circumstances, and all the things we talk about when you are bringing children. You are bringing your child, so you cannot bring your grandchild.
Okay.
You see, so when your child comes, then they can maybe bring, but again, if your child has a child, then we assume that the child is no longer a child. Because the law is that one, they must be a child, not formed independent life, or had a family of their own.
So that qualification is
valid. So then, under immigration rules, you cannot even extend it to grandchild.
Right. So, if I had a child that I didn't know of, and now the child is more than 12 years, in that situation, what do I do?
Well, you only proving that this is your child, so you do DNA to prove it. And once you've confirmed that this is your child, based on your circumstance, if the rules allow, the immigration rules and the laws allow, you confer what you have to the child.
In a situation where the citizenship is conferred on the child, but I prefer that the child stays where he or she is, would I be compelled under any circumstance to bring the child to the UK because the child is a British citizen and you can't just abandon the child to live elsewhere?
There's no rule that your British citizen child cannot live elsewhere.
Okay.
There's no rule, but we expect that your child will be where you are, and therefore you bring your child to live with you or closer to yourself.
Would the child enjoy any benefit like outside the UK, like any British child living in the UK?
There are two things here, two sides to the same coin. When we are seeking it, we say that if the child is not in the UK, they will not enjoy the benefit that a British child like themselves would enjoy. But if we are not seeking it, then we're not going to make any argument.
Anyway, once you are not in, you are not part of the plate.
No, the point here is that, I mean, you can bring your child, if your child is British, what stops you from bringing a child to live with you if you are living in the UK? But again, if the child is schooling abroad, then they can stay abroad and school. So they are there for good reason.
Right.
Maybe for developmental purposes or for academic purposes or for even some sort of skill upscaling or skill development purposes. But why will you nobody is preventing you from bringing the child to the UK. So why will you make this argument that the child is not getting what other British citizens' children are getting?
But can I make a claim, for instance, if the child lives outside of the UK and I would want to get support for his accommodation and some other welfare benefits, can I ask for it?
So you want you want the support to be so that you transfer to the child?
Yeah, because a child has been given to automatic citizenship.
Right. So when you make a claim for support in the interest of the child and the relevant provisions, what you are saying is that the child's situation is precarious because you are not able to afford what the child needs, including rent. As Uncle Ben explained the last time, those who are destitute in the UK, even if they don't have papers or they have papers, the state has a duty to the child. And of course, that duty to the child by extension will support the parent as well. Here is the case that the child is schooling abroad. That means the parents are not bad after all. So the conclusion is that you cannot take the welfare support and ship it overseas.
Right. Well, Victoria Befi, thank you for joining us. We also have promised joining and watching. I would ask that, yes, make the algorithm look very good. So pick up the link, share, and also like the page. Comment when you have to. 07399208466, that is the number for you to call. And you can text us on 07950422780. Now, I said to you that I'm going to give out one very beautiful BWF Solicitors t-shirt. Now, the question that I'll be asking you is based on the nugget. So I'm going to read the nugget again, and I'll put the question out. I'm going to be very lenient. I'll put the question out, but I don't expect you to give me the answer now. So I'll be reading the nugget and I'll put the question out. And I want to remind you again that on this program today, and as part of BWF Solicitors end of year activities, we organizing and conducting our quiz competition. The person that can answer as many questions in a minute will have his or her name in the hat for the draw that will be held on the 24th of December, that is next week, Saturday. Now, false representation is making statements or claims either in written or spoken form to the Home Office, which is untrue or false. The consequence of making a false representation may usually lead to refusal of the application and a mandatory ban from coming to the United Kingdom. Where the Home Office wants to refuse an application on the grounds that false representations have been made, they must indicate clearly to the applicant that they have suspicions. And they must also give opportunity for a response, and that would have to be factored into the response and their final decision. AA Nigeria and that case that says Balajigari versus the Home Office or the Home Secretary of 2019. Now, my question. Are you ready for my question? I'm going to ask the question. Now, I expect an answer now, but think about it. Think about it clearly. And very soon, maybe in about 10 or so minutes, I will be asking you to give me an answer. Now, let's see the question. Bequeen, a Ghanaian national, applied for a visitor's visa. Will be on the quiz template, so let's pick it up. Bequeen, a Ghanaian national, applied for a visitor's visa to visit the UK on holiday. When asked whether he had ever been refused a visa to the UK, he answered, no, I haven't done it before. Unfortunately, the entry clearance officer found that his previous application from 2015 was refused because he provided false documents in support of it. He says he was not aware of, as his application was made by an agent. His application was refused and he was banned from coming to the UK for 10 years. Now, question maybe, sir, or the question I'm asking, maybe, the application will be refused because he made false statements in his visa application. Would that be the likely decision if he applies again? Then the second one, the application will be allowed because the false representation was made by an agent. So think through it. Consider the nugget as I read it and consider the question. Now, Bequeen is a Ghanaian national and he applied for a visitor's visa to visit the UK on holiday. When he was asked whether he had ever been refused a visa to the UK, he said no. Unfortunately, the entry clearance officer found that his previous application from 2015 was refused because he provided false documents in support of it. He says he was not aware as his application was made by an agent. His application was refused and he was banned from coming to the UK for 10 years. And he has decided to apply again. What is likely to be the decision if he applies again? I'm going to leave that and come back to it later on, but think through it I'll be right back. Now, remember that we have our quiz competition coming up. Don't give me the answer now. I see that you're trying to give me an answer. Don't do it now, because I won't take. If you do it now, you disqualify yourself from my T-shirt that's going to give. Now, Emmanuel Sechi, I'm not picking your answer now. You've jumped the gun, so I'm not picking that one out. Now, remember our quiz competition where we throw out so many questions and you have to answer as many of them in a minute. And that qualifies you to stand a chance of winning that wonderful prize, which is a 2-week stay, accommodation and flight catered for in Ghana. Then the second prize is a £500 cash. The third prize is a £200 cash. Ooh, that's very tasty and juicy. We're taking a message from our sponsors, BWF Solicitors, and also promoting the quiz. We'll be right back.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London. N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Official poll. Question number 1. Law firm Bay and the one on a house on top of the Seven Sisters Tube Station, exit number 2. No. BWF Solicitors. Correct. It is that time of the year again. BWF Solicitors, our trusted community law firm at the Christmas quiz competition. No. Ababiomo. We have gone through 2022 together. We have celebrated 30 years of our senior partners on broken service to the community. And so, someone so will be winning the prizes from the annual quiz competition. No more. Listen, every 1st December, Ecosi 23rd December 2022, following on all our social media platforms, on BW Radio, BWTV, any Rainbow Radio show, and some very simple and interesting questions. And you will stand a chance of winning a massive prize. First prize, 2-week stay in Ghana, flight and accommodation covered. Second prize, £500 cash. Third prize, £200 cash, plus many other consolation prizes. Chapeau. BWF Solicitors. For legal matters, but you be handle no pepe at the amount. You 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, no so London N15 4NP 4th floor of the Anna House. Freying was 0208 493 7340 or emergency number 077 127 61884. With over 30 years of service to the community, we are your trusted community lawyers. Yamawa Fisher Poe. Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you very much for sticking around with us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your chats. Thank you for staying. We're live on BW TV, BW Radio, BWF Solicitors Facebook, BWF Solicitors YouTube. Those of you who are eager to answer my question, I'll be coming back to you very shortly. But whoever can win the prize would have to come on, call in, and explain why the answer is what you have selected. Now, right after that, I will get lawyer to do that. So, Emmanuel Sechi, you wanted to come in. Odisheba Nanakwe Kumede, you wanted to come in. Whoever is ready to answer my question, I'm going to read the question again. Just give me a call on 0739920848 or 0208-123-1016. And let me have a chat with you so you can explain to me why you think the answer is 1 or 2 as you have selected. So Emmanuel Sechi, I'm waiting for your call if you really are ready to pick up my t-shirt. Very nice, high quality t-shirt from BWF Solicitors. Bekwin is a Ghanaian national. He applied for a visitor's visa to visit the UK on holiday. When asked whether he had ever been refused a visa to the UK, he said no. Unfortunately, the entry clearance officer found that his previous application from the year 2015 was refused because he provided false documents in support of that particular application. He says, well, it wasn't me. I wasn't aware. It was an agent that made the application for me. Well, I find that very interesting. Anyway, his application was refused and he was banned from coming to the UK for 10 years. Now, what is likely to be the decision if he applies again? The application, one will be refused because he made false statements in his visa application. 2, the application will be allowed because the false representation was made by another person or an agent in this situation. Now, let me come to you, lawyer. I said I found his reason very interesting because you applied to visit the UK some time back. And they ask you, and you say, well, I don't remember, somebody did it on my behalf. But didn't he have the intention to travel?
Okay, so you can see that this falls under 9, paragraph 9,
okay.
8.
I've got, hold your thoughts there, lawyer. I've got somebody on the line, and I'm hoping is somebody who is ready to answer my question before I even go to my exciting other quiz. Hello? Hello?
And lawyer Appl.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Ora.
Good afternoon. I am assuming Emmanuel Sechi.
No.
Okay, good. So you have overtaken Emmanuel. That's brilliant. Your name, please.
Kevin Asamoah, lawyer Charles. Good afternoon.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin, what you saying?
Okay. Kevin, my question is now by. Very good. And see, but your question is to be. I'm going to quickly read it again. Bekwin, a Ghanaian national, he applied for a visitor's visa to visit the UK on holiday. When the entry clearance officer asked whether he's been refused a visa before, he said no. But it was found out that 2015, he was refused because he provided false documents in support of that application he made in 2015. But he says it wasn't him. It was an agent that made the application. Now, he is being banned to from coming to the UK for 10 years. The application he made, the second one was refused. What is likely to be the decision if he applies again? Hello?
Hello, yes, all right, I'm listening.
And he says, me answer near then.
Yeah, the answer is 1.
Yes,
1.
The application will be refused because he made false statements in his visa application. Addington.
Good. Simply because the first one, he made a false representation. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter who made the application on his behalf. Mm-hmm. So far as it's his name and documents as changed, will be refused again. Yes.
Because or
And
yeah,
it has happened.
false
Yeah,
representation. Okay.
Yes, please, because of a false representation.
Okay.
The entry clearance officer knows him in person, not the person who did the application on his behalf.
But what him
So I
said,
think
there was this question I asked the lawyer. Said, "Be not me that innocently, okay?
Yeah.
Or even on the form, it could have been a tick box, and mistakenly
Yeah.
I ticked no instead of yes. So
Yeah.
if I'm giving the opportunity to explain, can't I be allowed? The can't the application be allowed?
I didn't listen to the lawyer very well. I wasn't online back then. But I think it doesn't matter if you made a mistake by clicking yes or no.
Okay.
Because I think the visitor's visa, there's no option for you to make admin review or to make an appeal, as
Okay.
the lawyer said. Now that you've made false representation, the second application, I think, will definitely be refused. Yes, it doesn't matter who made the application. Since it's your name, your photo, your fingerprint, you made the application yourself. They don't care agency or whoever. Yeah. So I think the answer is one. Therefore, will be definitely refused again.
But also within a day.
Kelvin Asamoah.
Kevin, okay. Kelvin as someone.
Yes, sir.
May try to was say lawyer Ejitum say which are not me they will are they no abroad straight.
Medasi.
Kevin say number one. Can we look at number one again? The question say the application will be refused because he made false statements in his application. Right.
Are we offering opportunity to only one person or?
No, I needed one person to answer.
All right, that's fine. So we finished with that.
Quiz,
Okay.
But this one, I wanted somebody
to answer, okay.
to boldly come in and do the explanation. So, yeah, you say I'm what else here.
Yeah, so first off, well done, Calvin, for one, boldly entering into the show by means of technology, joining us and giving your view on the legal position that the person made the application, whether they did it innocently or deceptively. The first application was refused because there was false representation.
Okay.
So this application is making reference to the old application. That when you made the first application, you said you had not. When you made this application, you said you've never been refused before. But we have something to show that last time you came, 2015, we refused you because things were not right. Now, this takes us to paragraph 9.81 says that, remember 9.71 is discretionary power to refuse based on innocent or honest misrepresentation. And 9.72, mandatory power to refuse based on dishonest or deceptive misrepresentation. Now, once that happens, what if the person comes again? That would be 9.81.
Okay.
9.81 says that if you are refused on the basis of false representation and banned, anytime you come, automatically you are going to be refused. Automatically.
Okay.
So if you come 100 times, you'll be refused 100 times. And Kevin pointed it out. The fact that your name details are on the application, you are the applicant. Whether you did it yourself or somebody did it for you, they took instructions from you.
That's right.
We only look at a case where you want them to reconsider when you have opportunity to admin review or appeal it.
Okay.
Where you have opportunity to argue your point. Then you can mention innocent, I didn't know and all that, blah, blah, blah. But on the fact, and at this stage, the caseworker has seen what the law fronts upon, that you deceived. And therefore, they have to make a conclusion to mandatorily refuse your application under 981. So the second application will be refused under 981. And the first application was refused under 972. Therefore, the application will be refused because the person made false statement in his application.
And the lawyer, Kevin Echa.
Kevin Echa. Well done, Kevin.
Kevin.
Yes, sir, boss.
Who you bold?
Yeah.
Who you bold?
Thank you. All right. That is why lawyer Asma is my big brother.
Very good. Congratulations. You've won yourself
Thank you.
that brilliant T-shirt from BWF Solicitors. It's got the logo and our inscription at the back. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Last year, no need to call party in the park.
And whilst Kevin is here, Brakuku, let me chip in this. Kevin mentioned something crucial. He said that it doesn't really matter who made the application. Whatever they did was done under your name because you are the applicant.
Exactly.
And that is to go to all of us that when we are making applications on your behalf, be it as lawyers, as friends, as family members, or whoever, the person making the application on your behalf will take instructions from you.
Okay.
So when we are making an application, we ask them, Mr. A, Mr. B, or Miss whatever, please confirm X, Y, Z. There are even instances where they have to confirm whether there's criminal record or not. So if I think that the way you look, there's no way you have committed a crime, and I put the no for you, and it turns out that there's something somewhere, the question will be by lawyers, you just put it down.
Okay.
But the fact that the lawyer put it down doesn't mean that it's not yours. When you have a claim to argue your, a chance to argue your case, you can then say that I wasn't asked and the person put it there, and therefore the mistake was done on my behalf. So I did not have intention to deceive.
Okay.
But it doesn't take away the fact that the caseworker has power to refuse based on the fact that there is false representation somewhere.
Okay. Well, Kevin.
Yes, boss.
Me producer, Professor Debefro, na what your details in your post t-shirt number. Why?
Thank you. I'd like to participate in the case as well.
Cobra. Mati Konum Sibra. May I say, Kevin has boldly come on to really show say educational you guys are following so very well. Thank you so very much. And now I'm going to activate let's pick a few comments on there. I think there are a few comments on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, we can start picking from there. Emmanuel Sechi said as number one. Yeah, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Unfortunately, you didn't call in. Rebecca Mwakwe is number one. Yes, that's correct, as our lawyer has said, and Kevin has brought it out. Abna, it's not number two. It's number one. Senior lawyer, Now, let's pick up the other comment. Covenant Grace, but if the Queen apply for human rights application, he first has to make the application to revoke the ban and make the new application. I think so. Lawyer, would that be correct?
Well, this is a different conversation, but it's good that our friend has pointed this out. There are instances when you are banned under the relevant provisions, 981.
Right.
What is the Secretary of State telling you is that because of your behavior, you have to stay away for 10 years. It doesn't apply to visa applications. Now, if you are making, as our colleague pointed out, if you are making a human right application as a mother, father, or child of a British national or citizen, then on that basis, you rely on human right and say that, first, that ban ought to be removed. So you have to make an application for the revocation of the ban.
Okay.
And once the ban is lifted, you have a chance to, even though the law says that 10 years you can do it, after 10 years you can do it. There are instances where the Secretary of State will say that even though the 10 years is elapsed, the ban is still there. So it has to be lifted.
Right.
It's like a
so
yoke
then you
still
have to
around your neck.
you make an application for that to be lifted.
Yes. Then
So even though you spend the 10 years, don't assume that you spent the punishment or you have carried out the punishment. You will have to make sure that it's lifted off you before you can make any successful application,
then
because they could refuse.
Exactly. They could rely on the fact that you are already banned and the order is in force.
Right.
It's not being revoked.
Okay.
So If an order, which is a yoke, is still around your neck, then you are not free enough to enter based on a new application.
0739920848. We're going to our quiz. Are there any other comments that we can quickly pick? Okay, let me pick these two and we go. The application will be refused absolutely. Daniel Asu Kwabeng, thank you. He may have the right to respond to the refusal and defend, but the application will be refused. Another one here says, yes, you can. Your grandchild is your family.
So responding to the one we answered.
We answered earlier on. Okay, right. Okay, 0739920848. We're ready for our quiz, and your quiz master, Reku Sifripon, is ready. I have my score master, my guest and resource person, lawyer Charles Asma. He's got all the questions and all the answers, and my timekeeper is my able studio manager and director, Professor Ade. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? The quiz that wins you or gives you the chance to win the prize to stay in Ghana 2 weeks, all paid, all expenses paid, £500 cash and £200 cash as the third prize. 0739920848. The questions are ready. Somebody is right here. But you ever say?
Pastor, from Kelvin Asamoah.
Oh, you again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kevin, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, your 1 minute starts now. Your friend, my name is Happy. And if I'm celebrating my birthday and somebody is singing happy birthday to me, how many times would they mention happy?
4.
What letter is used in each of the odd numbers?
Say it again.
What letter is used in each of the odd numbers?
O.
Country being and winning 1930 World Cup for the first time.
Uruguay.
Which African country got to the quarterfinal in the World Cup in South Africa?
Morocco.
Channels being in a Qatar World Cup in the UK.
Pastor, say.
TV channels being in the World Cup in the UK.
ITV3.
Which one comes first, Christmas or New Year?
New Year.
How many countries are there in Africa?
54.
How many times does it snow in the UK?
1 time.
Okay, your 1 minute is up. Lawyer, how many?
We are free.
You got 3 correct.
Right.
Out of how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. All right.
So, no, I in the past now so that you can answer so many because some of them are quite easy. Mama tricking on. Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. Another person can call in 0739920848 or 020812311016. Well, you can also call on the WhatsApp line. I think I can admit that 0795042278. We've got another person here. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
But when you're confident, Anna.
We are confident.
Because I'm Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Your 1 minute starts now. How many times would I mention the word happy if I'm singing happy birthday to be a friend happy?
4.
What letter is used in each of the odd numbers?
O.
Which country got to the quarterfinal in the World Cup in South Africa?
Ghana.
Which MP of Ghanaian descent is the first black chancellor of Great Britain?
Kwesi.
It snows in July, true or false?
False.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken.
Which part of London can we locate BWF Solicitors?
7 Sisters.
How many female solicitors are there at BWF Solicitors currently?
2.
Which city is at the center of the earth?
Tema, Accra. Yes, Tema.
The main international airport is named after a soldier. What is his name?
Kutuka.
Which is the strongest muscle in the human part? Oh, time was soon.
Pass.
The time was soon. Lawyer, answer how many questions?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And you just say,
And got 6 correct.
and you got 6 correct. So you are leading the pack today.
I hope I lead to the end.
Your name again?
David Mensah.
David Mensah.
David or Stephen?
Yeah. David.
David Mensah. Okay. David Mensah. Well, so far you are leading, so let's see if we will get your name into the thing. Thank you very much. Let's go to another person, 0739920848, 0795042278, 020812311016. Answer as many questions within 1 minute and see if you can beat David Mensah, who is leading the pack with 6 questions answered correctly out of 9. Kevin Asamoah, right? Kevin Asamoah had 3 out of 8 questions. Who is next? 0208 123 1016, 0739920848 or 0795042278. Maybe I will try. So meet me let's see how many questions there are. How many countries are there in Africa? It snows in July, true or false? What is the largest man-made lake in the world? Who is the senior partner of BWF Solicitors? That's the simplest of all the questions, isn't it? The main international airport in Ghana is named after a soldier. What is his name? Which is the strongest muscle in the human body? What is the nickname of the national football team of South Africa? I'm still waiting for your call. Which 3 countries form the UK? What are the working hours of BWF Solicitors? We will be at Timitra. From June 28, 2022, what condition was taken away from applying for naturalization in the UK? The other one, how many times would you mention the word happy if you sing happy birthday to a person called Happy? Happy birthday, happy. How many times are you going to mention that? What letter is used in each of the odd numbers? Odd numbers here were 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So our odd numbers, see, letter being NIA common in all that. Which 2 radio stations carry the BWF Solicitors legal education? How many years ago did BWF Solicitors start? Your questions are with me answer. You stand a chance of winning that prize, 2 weeks stay, flight and accommodation catered for, £500 cash as a second prize and £200 as the third prize. Let's take that message, and when we come back, we'll pick up more calls.
This is our world. Here we are in our
Official poll. Question number 1. Law firm Bay and the one on a house on top of the Seven Sisters Tube Station, exit number 2. BWF Solicitors. Correct. It is that time of the year again. BWF Solicitors, our trusted community law firm at the Christmas quiz competition. We have gone through 2022 together. We have celebrated 30 years of our senior partners on broking service to the community. And through so, someone so will be winning the prizes from the annual quiz competition. Listen, every 1st December, Ecosi 23rd December 2022, following on all our social media platforms, on BW Radio, BW TV, any Rainbow Radio show, answer very simple and interesting questions, and you will stand a chance of winning a massive prize. First prize, 2 weeks stay in Ghana, flight and accommodation covered. Second prize, £500 cash. Third prize, £200 cash, plus many other consolation prizes. Chapeau. BWF Solicitors. For our legal matters, but you be handle no pepe at the amount. You 214-218 Tottenham High Road, Nosso, London N15 4NP, 4th floor of the Anna House. Freying was 0208-493-7340 or emergency number 077-127-61884. With over 30 years of service to the community, we are your trusted community lawyers. Yamawa Official Poe. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I'll pick that one. Okay. Well, somebody sent me something very interesting here. Anyway, you're live on BWTV, you're live on BW Radio, you're live on BWF Solicitors Facebook page and YouTube, and you're live on the program, The Community and the Law. Somebody just sent me a very interesting bit. Lawyer, he says, can you send me the questions so I can call? I can't send you the questions. I want you to
Call and get a question.
call and get the questions. Yeah, okay. There are questions about Ghana. There are questions about the World Cup. There are questions about BWF Solicitors. There are general questions that really they're very easy. They're very easy. I'll give you the answers before I go. They're very easy. But there's a comment there. Let me pick it up from Facebook, from YouTube, sorry. Franco Poku, please, my question is outside the topic you are discussing. My issue is different, immigration issue. Can I ask or should I? No, you can call in now. Frank, you either call in now or if you can type it quickly, we will pick it up and get lawyer to answer for you. Now, if your question is not about the day's topic, that's fine, provided it's a legal thing that the lawyer will be able to answer. Why not? Bring it up. The number you can call is 07399208468. 07399208468. Lawyer, okay, I think the person must be calling now. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Kwadu.
Yes, boss. Antoine?
Maju. Daddy Alex.
Alex. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Say me answer questions nanka what ready? Alex, did you participate yesterday?
I did, yeah, with Manye.
I mean you film.
And I wanted to ask if I'm allowed to come because it looks like no one
your name is in the hat
coming,
already.
So I just wanted to.
Your name is in the hat more than once. Why? Okay, Alex Atias here. Mami Phil before. Hello. Hello. Can you go down the volume of your computer, your radio, or TV for me, please?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Bajon Wani.
This is Daniel Opon.
Danny?
Yes, boss.
Okay. Your question.
Right.
If you want to speak to you, that's fine. Go on.
All right.
But your loyalty, why?
Yeah, I wanted to participate on the quiz, please.
Oh, in the quiz. Okay. I think. Okay. So we're going to get ready. Daniel Opon, yeah?
Yes.
I like that, Daniel. Okay, Daniel.
Yes, boss. Yes,
Daniel.
boss. Yes,
Daniel,
boss.
don't disappoint me. You know I'm also Daniel.
All right.
Don't disappoint
All
me.
right. I'll try my best.
Do your best. Which part of London any who BWF Solicitors?
North London.
What days and how many days in the BWF Solicitors here, Juma?
5 days.
Which train line in London will take you to where BWF Solicitors is?
Underground service sister.
How many countries are there in Africa?
Say it again.
How many countries are there in Africa?
I think 57.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Pass.
Which two channels have been showing the World Cup in the UK?
ITV and BBC.
Which letter is the common one in all the odd numbers?
Pass.
Which one comes first, Christmas or New Year?
Christmas.
Okay, your time is up. Lawyer, how many questions?
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he got 3.
Oh, so you've tied with Kevin.
Kevin.
So Kevin answered 8 and got 3 correct. Daniel.
Yes.
Daniel.
Yes, boss.
Daniel. Is that what you have done to me?
I'm sorry, boss.
Daniel. Anyway, thank you for participating. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. 0739920848. Lexus will say, Daniel participated yesterday as well. Oh, Alex, I didn't see that. Anyway, well, lawyer, we almost running out of time, so I'll give you the opportunity to give a summary as to what we discussed. I asked the question, and I want to repeat it so then you give the answer as a summary. The question is, does my child qualify for automatic British citizenship if born abroad? And how do I make an application for the child?
So the answer to this question is yes, with explanation. So it is yes because the child who is born abroad ought to prove that they qualify under Section 2 of the British Nationality Act 1981. What it means is that the child wants to make an application to assert his or her right as a British citizen because their father or mother at the time of their birth was a British citizen, otherwise than by descent. The child has to prove that they are a child. And 2, born abroad. And 3, father or mother, in other words, the parent who is making the application for the child is a British citizen, and that the parent's British citizenship was not acquired by descent or acquired by the same way the child is seeking to acquire his or hers under Section 2. If the child is able to prove all that, we say yes, you are automatically a British citizen. What it means is you just have to make an application for passport, British passport. Making an application for British passport whilst overseas falls under overseas passport application, which is done by manual process. So you fill a form and you add your supporting document and post to the passport office for consideration. It's a very lengthy process, and therefore where you need other things, you will be requested to provide them until the process is complete. Once you meet all the compliance process and the registrar or the leader, the person, in other words, HMP or the Her Majesty's pass or His Majesty's, now His Majesty's passport office is happy that you've met the rules, then you will be issued with a British passport. It will be posted to you abroad using your address used, or it will be posted to your agent in the UK if you use an agent in the UK, a lawyer, to do the application on your behalf. That is the entire process. Now, what we are saying is this, that if the parent got his or her citizenship the same way as the child is seeking to have his or her citizenship, then that parent will not be able to transfer that citizenship to their own child. And that is why the law says the father or the mother acquired citizenship otherwise than by descent. If they did it, then they cannot transfer that. So that is something that we have to take note of. Now, what if you had settled status before you became naturalized or citizen, and therefore at the time the child was born, you had settled status or indefinite leave to remain, then this provision will not apply to your child. The child must be here so that you can register the child to become a British citizen. So that is what we bring to you today on this topic. We believe that we've been able to clarify a couple of things, especially on the point of descent and who can and who cannot transfer. Please don't forget that we are meeting again next week until we close the curtain down for the new year. The quiz will continue up until 23rd of December 2022. So get ready, participate, and win the best prize for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawyer Charles Asma, for doing the wonderful summary and the rounding up for us. How many times would you mention the word happy? If you're saying happy birthday to a person called Happy, you do that 5 times. Letter used in each of the odd numbers is E. Which country won the first World Cup in 1930? That is Uruguay. Uruguay happens to be the nemesis of Ghana, those who love football. And the World Cup final is being played tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, and that's between France and Argentina. Well, thank you very much, BWF Solicitors. Your best choice is BWF Solicitors. Now, visit BWF Solicitors at 214-218 Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N154 NP. They work Monday to Friday, 5 days in the week from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends, you can meet any of the lawyers, but you have to book an appointment, and that's the only condition that you'd have to meet when you have to meet them over the weekend. Call them on 0208 493 7340. We are here live on BWTV, and I want to say thank you very much for your time, for participating, for commenting, for sharing the link, and also for staying with us and making sure that we all have had a wonderful time together. It's Christmas and it's all happiness in the air, and BWF Solicitors is giving you the opportunity to win the wonderful prize, and we have participated in the quiz. Those of you who have had your names in the hat already, make sure next week you are here for the live draw, and we will be giving out who wins the prize. And the first prize is a 2-week stay in Ghana, and that's accommodation and flight catered for. Second prize is £500 and cash well, I think I want the cash. Then £200 as the third prize. Other consolation prizes will be given. So get your name in the hat, participate in the quiz, follow us on our social media platforms, and be sure that you are the winner. On behalf of the production team, I want to say thank you very much for staying with us. We will be back with you same time next week. Until then, be good.
Jesus, you're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, yeah.